How can Ben Armstrong be removed from a company that he owns 67% of? Why was Ben paying Cassie $50,000 a month? Of course, Cassie is the woman he was having an affair with. And are TJ and others at Hit Network being hypocrites? Because apparently they had their own little affairs as well. Well, in this video, I'm going to be answering all three of those questions. Let's get into it. A lot has been made about Ben Armstrong's affair.
You're going to know now, I had an affair. And it went on for a while, but the fact is that I've messed up. I can't make an excuse for an affair.
This is because BitBoy is generally seen as a family man. I mean, he posts a ton of pictures with his wife and kids and stuff like that, going to football games and just traveling. And although he may come off as brash and a lot of people don't like his personality, the core values are the same. He's still a family man. So when it came out that he was having an affair, people started to dogpile on him for that. When responding to an X post, Ben said this: "You guys want to know something funny? You guys should ask TJ about how he and his wife, Ali Bevan, met. He hired her as an assistant, aka his subordinate. She was married. 2 weeks later, they started an affair, and she left her husband and married TJ. It's the hypocrisy for me. Additionally, Justin Williams, the lead of the entire Snake Coming After Me, also has had to leave a job for literally sleeping with his boss and close friend's wife. I'm not justifying my affair. It was wrong, but you guys need the context to understand what is happening to me." But my question to Ben is, what does their relationship dramas have to do with the company? Because the allegations is that you're giving Cassie $50,000 a month for whatever reason, and it's causing harm to Hit Network. But what about that $50,000? Here's something interesting. Cassie was the one who was responsible for getting them that insane deal with Stake, which would bring in $1 million a month. That's a lot of money, but check this out. BitBoy made a post about this. He said that on this claim that Cassie has a contact from TJ paying her 5% of our Stake deal, these claims are outrageously false. All of them. Everyone sees what they are doing and people see right through it. She got us a Stake contract under the agreement that she would get 10%. She was supposed to get 10%. He says, and I convinced her that the number was so big just to take 5%. Guys, there's documentation for all of this. It was our biggest deal ever. Cassie was brought on to get sponsorships. She got the contract that is almost all of our monthly revenue, which by the way has not been paid since I left. Well, hopefully, BitBoy, that was the only reason why she was brought on. Ben continues to say that the truth is going to come out, and when you guys see what they have done to me, this is going to send shockwaves across the YouTube industry. And Cassie posts the receipts. An email from TJ saying, "I just talked more with Ben and we could do 5% on the stake.com deal." Assuming that works out, we are anticipating that we shouldn't need further sponsors for the YouTube channel. If it goes a different direction, we can still do 5% for future sponsorships on YouTube, and I'll update the service agreement accordingly. Well, 5% of 1 million is 50 grand a month. So was that just her cut of the deal? So was that $50,000 he was sending her not a sugar baby thing, because that's what a lot of people were making it out to be, but was that just a pay that she was owed? I'll let you guys decide. So how can a company be taken from someone who owns 67% of it? Yesterday, Mario Nafal had a Twitter live space where they talked about the whole Ben Armstrong Hit Network drama. And during that live space, attorney David Silver offered his insight on the whole situation. Because remember, they were accusing Ben for all kinds of crazy things like groping, thrusting, throwing full protein bottles at people. Check out what David has to say about all of this.
And David, what do you think of the process? Like, is that pretty common for someone that owns 60-something% of the company, 63% of the company, to lose access to everything without knowing this was going to happen? Is that pretty common? You know, I've never witnessed. I'm not part of any legal cases. I've never witnessed that myself or witnessed others go through it. So I'm curious if that's pretty common when there's a business dispute.
Happens all the time, and it's why they're making. And I'm not going to make Nick say this, but it's why they're making some of the allegations they're making. Is because even if you have a majority, if you have minority shareholders, they have rights to. If you have the minority is not without power. If you do certain things that are so egregious, no matter what the contracts say, people are going to invoke their rights. And that's why some of the more salacious details come out in a public filing, because you need to make those salacious details in order to enforce your position. Because again, I use the example. Let's assume for a second that it's a 67-33 split. The money he was giving could have been his money, but those other people with the 33% still get their rights and have to enforce their rights. There are employees here. There are a lot of things. This is just a fight between a company. This is an intercompany squabble that will eventually be resolved.
Dave, one more question. What are some of these claims? You said that's the reason they put in some of these claims. I'm not going to get Nick to say it. So generally speaking, what are some claims, because I'm sure TJ seeks legal advice, what are the claims that you would need to be able to enforce what TJ and the team, what BitBoy did. And that's just completely remove access of Ben and try to remove him from the company, sue him for everything else that we mentioned.
So again,
My guess would be like the physical abuse, without talking about BitBoy, just in general.
Yeah, I mean the number one. Look, we're going to throw aside the employee safety because in this day and age, employee safety is number one. But number two is stealing money. You can't steal money and still keep your job, even if you're the majority owner. So those are the two things that we have here that are front and center. Those two things right off the bat, those are out there. I think those are what we were calling the salacious details. But at the end of the day, if you're stealing money, you're out. Even if it's your own company, I'm desperately trying to think of other people who have been kicked out of their own companies, but it happens on a regular basis.
So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Has your perception changed about all the drama that's going down? Are you Team TJ? Are you Team Ben? I'm interested to hear your opinion. Guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.